Great joke, Matt.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Youth Ministry Garage, episode 192. You know, we realized
192.
Katie started at episode 131, so she's done 60 episodes.
Well, that's impressive.
So you've done like a third.
It's almost a year
of the shows. Anyway, we're glad you're here. Welcome, joining us, being with us.
Back again.
Gathering again.
Team. What do we call everybody? The listeners?
Team.
Family?
Team. Friends. Doug Fields here with Matt McGill, Josh Griffin, the Queen, Katie Edwards, and you. Your letters, your agenda.
Just
send it in through Youth Ministry.
Right here.
Just sitting nuzzled between Matt and Doug.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Wouldn't be the first time.
That's right. We've got
weird.
Send your letters, your emails, podcast letters, the whole bit to youthministrygarage.com. Check the website. A lot of things going on.
Just imagining pulling out like snail mail, like real letters. Our letter today comes from. That'd be awesome.
That would be great.
That would be great.
A handwritten note.
Yes.
Let's just give everybody your address to send
My name is Kyle Donnelly. I'm a full-time youth pastor in somewhere Ontario. Gulp, Ontario. I just want to thank you for what you do. I watch your podcast while I do my budgeting and receipts. Now, if that isn't hell,
goodness.
We're happy
you
to
have made the least favorite part of my job enjoyable. I appreciate your wisdom and service. I just wanted to encourage you today and say thanks.
Whoa.
You know what?
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That is
very
the
nice.
least enjoyable part.
We are we are an award-winning international show, Canada.
Canada, that counts.
Yeah, there wasn't an address on there. I was going to send him something.
Sorry about
I
that.
meant it went in through email and not the website.
Sorry, Kyle.
Hey, you know, I guess we've talked on the show about the potential of people coming out here.
Yeah.
We talked about a Friday, like a Youth Mr. Garage Friday hangout, visit, Saddleback on Saturday, Mariners on Sunday, my house on Sunday night.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well,
sounds exciting.
I mean, we've talked about it. And we've got people writing in about it. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Cool.
I would like to be a part of the small group of people who come visit Mariners Saddleback and have dinner with Doug. If it comes to fruition, please. And
fruition, yes, vocabulary, love it.
So anyway, we need to figure that out.
That's cool.
Should we say spring of 2013?
When is spring?
Yep.
Is
The
that
spring
this
after.
Spring is after the new
January?
year.
And we'll do
we gotta
one,
get through the fall.
One a year, just one a year.
How about two?
Whoa.
Or two.
Well, we got to figure it out for us.
One a year.
We got to make it work.
Well, yeah. It would be fun. So
We
go
can
visit
for,
Wildside.
real estate for you.
I was going to say, getting our calendars together.
To align. We can barely do the show, much less host people, real people. That
No,
Still can't get anybody over to the Student Leadership Conference.
No, we could do it.
Wounded me.
If I had to do Friday and Sunday night, then that would be fine. Because
We take
Saturday's
Sunday.
Saddleback, Sunday Mariners.
That's a good idea.
You know what?
Wildside High
Unless
School.
Josh hired me to speak that weekend.
I would do it. I would do that for sure.
Yeah,
Then you
I
could
had a
say
lot of
no
talk,
to
Josh.
something
I would use the money.
You'd be double dipping.
I would use the money that these people would pay to pay you too. So, here's the thing. I have some speaking requests for you for this
This
fall.
is not the time or the place for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's September
it's
11th.
always the time for
Well,
me to
thank
talk
you
about
for being
speaking
the
requests.
executor of the quorum.
That's right.
Yeah, owe you with a paycheck over there.
Hey, we've got
You
some.
don't have one?
We got some, Leader
I
Treks,
give it
one of our sponsors. We got big sponsors. We got big
sponsors.
sponsors going on. Youth
Why,
Specialties. Let's just remind people we're recording show 200 live.
Yeah.
And
Not right now.
In San Diego.
In San Diego.
One night
In
each
a month or two, here it is. Game on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so great.
we should know the dates. We should have those memorized. It's
Yeah, what is
October.
it? October.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a month.
Oh my God.
Whatever. Anyhow, keep
Anyway, so we're going to do that live. Our sponsors are going to be there. We're going to have food. We're giving free registrations to some people. We're even flying some of our people there.
Looking for the dates.
Thank you, Matt.
going.
And that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Everybody's got it on their calendar?
Yeah, I'll be
You
there.
don't?
I've
Well, I
got.
just don't know I know the time frame.
I'm thinking maybe Friday night.
Okay,
That Friday
cool.
night or Saturday
Yeah.
night. It'd be one of
Yeah.
those two nights.
I've got.
Like October 5th, I
I've
think it
got
is.
pastor's retreat during that time.
Matthew.
Well,
Cancel
it's
it.
got delayed.
Cancel it.
I know.
Cancel it. You got,
That's
you got a
that's.
speaking engagement at Youth Specialties.
I know. Yes, I do.
You don't even like the pastors you work with.
That is not true. true.
That's not true.
No, it's not true. Hey, but
Can you say
anyway,
that just a little bit faster? That genuinely, that's not true.
that is not true.
Thank you.
Not the ones you work with, just the ones that oversee you.
Just
Here we go. All right, everybody.
Guess what? That's going to be edited. You would only edit it if it was true.
oh goodness, there's room for misinterpretation. People.
And we're
Welcome
back.
welcome to every conversation in the world, Matt. People always think there's assumptions happening all the time.
All right, put on your big boy pants. Here we go.
Here's the deal.
Oh, dear.
Angie Barker, one of our key people.
Yeah.
I know she's on the Hall of Fame. From Dover, Delaware. I wanted to say thank you so much for my book from Leader Treks. It arrived just in time. I received it yesterday, having my first sit down with my new senior pastor tonight. I've already read through a considerable chunk of it, and I am prepared to implement some of the ideas tonight. Additionally, I wanted to invite Doug and Matt to join me for dinner.
Awesome.
What?
October
In
2nd
Dover,
through the
Delaware?
14th.
You guys have been a huge part of my ministry, and I sincerely appreciate you. Not Josh or Katie.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll just be
Okay.
here.
I
don't
didn't even
need to-
seem odd to me
Okay.
that it was only the two of us.
We'll just be here in the local church where Jesus is.
Just hang out with your youth group,
I
buddy.
don't want to go to Dover.
Call back. I love it.
Here's what we've got. We've got some new Wall of Fame members.
All right.
Kyle Corbin, which
Welcome.
means he has done all of the shows.
That's more than Katie
And
can say.
Angie Barker. Oh, I knew she was a Wall of Fame member. We just read her name.
There you go.
You know, and
She's dead to me. I don't even know. I don't care.
oh,
Yeah.
she's
I
No
like it.
invite to dinner. Just Matt and Doug.
Yeah, that
Here's
hurts.
the dates if you need
No,
to.
Dover?
It's wounded.
Again.
October
I would
12th and
totally go.
14th.
That's right.
October 12th through the 14th is San Diego, and Dallas is
Oh, the 12th.
November 12th, November
I love the
16th through
12th.
18th.
Let's do it on that day.
Okay.
All right.
Why? What do you
Special
love
day.
about the 12th?
12's just a great number.
Hey, let's get
It
excited
is.
about our Wall of Fame people.
Yay,
Halo,
Angie
who hates-
Barker. Who hates Katie and I?
No.
Kyle Corbin.
Angie, we love you. We're
No,
excited
she
you listen.
That's a little too much.
All I heard on that was that she wanted to invite us to dinner.
Join for dinner.
In Maryland, though, right? You gotta go to Maryland?
Yeah.
It's a
Delaware.
long way. Oh.
Maybe she knows
That's
Matt
not
travels.
Stop
with me.
drinking my drink.
I just need, mine's a little diluted, like
No.
several years ago.
Don't try and
I
make
don't
them
have
feel
any of
better.
Yeah, we're fine.
You kind of like.
You know what? Thick skin.
Exactly.
Oh, you know, we're gonna start our own
Are we?
show. We're gonna start our own show.
Look at that.
Katie, you
That
wanna
was the
defect
first
right
time
now?
in 192
We're
shows he
defecting.
wasn't on the inside, and he's
You know what?
eating him
The
up.
show's over.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, are we gonna put pictures behind us of
Yeah.
Wall of Fame people at some point?
Well, they're on the web.
Yeah,
we
but-
get a
That
flat
was
screen
so
TV is
helpful,
what we
seeing their
need.
faces.
We keep talking about it every week. We're like flat screen. It's never gonna happen.
Come on,
Let's just
Rolling
make it happen.
faces would be great.
Okay, great.
I'll
All
put
You know what?
together
On the new
freezer.
show that Katie and I start, we're gonna have a flat screen.
right. Well, both of your listeners can enjoy it. Here's
Mom, welcome back.
Here's David Libben from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Got a funny one for the crew. I'm just now able to laugh about it.
Oh.
Early last spring, our middle school youth group was meeting along with several other gatherings in different areas of the church. Typical Wednesday night. Near the end of the evening, I get a text from an adult leader of a freshman girls' small group meeting in the downstairs room. It simply reads, "There's a man pooping outside the window." Not sure if it was a joke. I figured it's best to investigate. Turns out it was true. An intoxicated man looked in the window, saw the girls, and proceeded to defecate outside the
Oh
window.
my
I've
god.
never heard of
so-
polite words for taking a dump before. That is great.
By the time I got there, he had left, so I moved the girls up to the church lobby. Just then, the man proceeded to walk in the front doors into a worship service happening. After quietly escorting him out the back, we contacted the police and got him some help. Then had some good talks with parents. Lesson learned. 1. Have a team you can delegate to, because in this ministry you never know what's going to come up. 2. Spend time gaining the trust of your parents so when stuff like this happens, they're okay too. Speaking as a team, I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on how you equip your team. How frequent, how much do you gauge is too much?
Is it true crap flows downstream? Did we at least answer that question?
He didn't ask the question.
No, that's the question I asked.
If Matt was to send in a question, that would be the one.
All right, let's send.
Really
That's
downhill,
here's
but-
the great thing about that's so true because in youth ministry stuff like that happens where somebody's not making that.
Exactly.
Making
It's
that.
totally real.
Oh,
Totally
real.
Totally.
Let's send him something since Angie Barker said Leader Treks.
Oh, yeah, that's
did
a good
such
one.
a great job. Why don't you pick something, Katie, from Leader Treks, and we'll send that to
We have a
him.
book
I like
called Number
this
2.
one.
You like this one?
The
Sweet Spot.
The Sweet Spot.
Finding the right place for your adult volunteers. He's kind of asking. That's perfect.
Training
Finding the right
them,
spot.
helping them, find their place in ministry. I think that would be a great one.
I wish I had written that one. Darn it. That is a good one. Finding the right place for your adult volunteers.
It's just the right size,
That's
too, for a
perfect.
little resource.
It's perfect.
Love it.
Okay.
All right, on your way.
So, thoughts on equipping?
Well, I don't. This story. I mean, it's hilarious as it is, and it's totally great.
Hilarious is your shirt.
Yes. You like that?
In search of long legs and a big rack.
Yep, I got it just because it's provocative.
Yeah.
That's who I am.
The
provoke.
Show
tightness
the
of the shirt
backside.
is
But
also
the back,
provocative.
The back I was in McCall, Idaho.
What do you think I was talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a moose. It's a moose.
Moose.
What size is that?
Not big enough, that's for sure, but it's the biggest the store had, so beggars can't be choosers.
You're messing up our
beauty
show
Oh,
is-
here.
gosh. Oh, gosh.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, what was delegated in this situation? I mean, what was delegated to volunteers. I mean, I guess what the picture that I'm assuming that he was able to stop doing whatever it is that he was doing so he could handle this problem.
Yeah.
And so it's great that you have strong leaders around you when there's things. I mean, is that what he's saying?
Well, he's just saying, hey, basically he said spend time gaining the trust of your parents so you have stuff like this.
Right.
When stuff like this happens. Then speaking of a team, I'd love to hear your thoughts on equipping them. How frequent? How do you gauge how much is too much?
Well, this is a great illustration of coaching in the moment. Also, like I know that sometimes we have a few formal times where we come together for dinner and do training and coaching and that kind of thing. But there this situation, pulling volunteers together afterwards and being kind of talking and coaching through, hey, this situation happened tonight. Here's some things we just need to be aware of in the future. Here's, just a few things that we could maybe, do differently next time, or you guys could help out in this way. So I think, coaching and equipping can be happening all the time in one-on-one situations, before and after your meetings. Like I said, we strategically have a few times where we want to pull people together and be intentional, but I think coaching happens all the time.
Whenever there's a moment.
So if you're downstairs in the basement and you see a guy up there taking a dump, you could talk about what Bible passage?
Oh, you're killing me right now.
Wow. 2 Kings 18. Everybody knows that.
No, they do.
I got you.
Dude, you know what also? There's another verse
I
was
heard
thinking
that
about
the
day,
other
and I
week
couldn't
Matt was talking about.
I couldn't figure it out. I almost sent you an email.
Yeah. I can't
Probably
believe
the first time in my
Josh
life
got to a
I've
Bible
ever-
passage before you.
The first time in my
Matt-
life I've
Matt-
ever asked you for where a Bible verse was at. It was only pride that kept me from sending it.
Matt.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew this, but last week I learned that Matt failed his discipleship class at seminary. So, just for the record, I have not. I'm not taking that class, but I've also not failed that class.
Speaking of that, how was the zombie night?
Oh, it was, dude.
It was incredible.
We don't have time for it, but incredible.
yeah,
All right.
later.
I'll just throw this out as well. Wow. I think it's a great opportunity in that moment to coach them, like you said, beyond the formal training. But I think give people as much responsibility and delegate as much as they are worthy. So as they earn your respect and trust and whatever, give them more and more responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a couple things that a volunteer shouldn't do that you probably need to handle as the lead man or woman. But I would say continue to give them as much as they are capable of handling.
Yeah.
I would stop at almost nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, years ago when we moved from a centralized midweek meeting to homes, one of the things that we backed in leadership development wise that I wish I would have said that this is going to happen, but really we discovered it, is that all of a sudden these leaders, once they're put in a home without me being there, or a lead paid person being there, all of a sudden they had to step it up. And so now they're answering those there wasn't anybody to text like there's a guy outside pooping.
They're making those calls.
They have to make those calls. And when you put leaders in a position where they're given kind of that responsibility and authority, you watch their leadership rise, and I think there's good leadership development.
I think the question of what's that?
I just was thinking about the girl in the basement and her watching and texting at the same time, and not necessarily. I mean, as her pastor, I might be like,
what I want to know.
"Hey, this might when this happens again, it's cool to like leave and then maybe text me," or like I just was. I find I know it's not a humorous situation. Hey, let's get out of here.
Oh. How much do you give away? I think you give away a little bit more than what you're comfortable with. I think when you are giving things away to your volunteers and leaders, it ought to sting and hurt. If you're only giving stuff away that feels good, then you're probably dumping. Which is that's not totally bad either, to get other people to do stuff.
Please don't say totally dumping.
How did I say that and not even know?
Boy. Next,
so pure.
Next.
You said something so wise, and then it went. That's out the window.
That, you know what? That actually could be the subtitle of our show. You said something wise, and then we laughed about it.
Story of my life.
Sorry, dude. No, but I mean, you even as a veteran youth worker, we were talking not too long ago about you giving away things you love.
Oh, yes.
And having to give those away to and trust people, and it's uncomfortable, and it stings,
and it's painful,
and and you're good at it, and it's hard. Those are the hardest things to give up.
It's funny that you're saying that right this second, because like this summer, I some things I should have given away that I did not give away this summer, and so we did a Friday morning Bible study, which I did my first summer, and I'm just very excited. I can't stay still. But my first couple summers, as an intern, it was like, hey, McGill, go do a Bible study in the park. And it was like, really? We could do one in the park? And you're like, sure, of course, do it all the time. So, but I loved that. I mean, I loved doing a Bible study. I loved having a small group of kids in it, building up slowly. And praise and worship thing. We used to do a minor program, weekly praise and worship deal. Ron, your husband, for the crowd, not for you. Like that? You like that? And Medea and I mean, it was great. It was great years, and it was also fun stuff.
No context on Medea.
Yeah, I can't get it right. It's always
took a dump on that one.
Keep dumping on other people.
Too far? It feels right on the edge. I'm sorry.
But those are two things that, like with our team, with our leaders in our ministry, my thought was, I really liked doing that. I really liked doing that back in the day. And if we start something small and it doesn't work, I don't want that to be on them. Those are my two motivating forces, and it's just like, you know what, it's okay if I do something that doesn't work. I mean, I'm still going to go to sleep at night, and that's fine. I mean,
yeah, but you're protecting them from failure.
I wanted to protect them a little bit from failure, which I kind of don't want to admit on this show that I do stuff like that. But it was at the end of the summer. I have come to the conclusion, Bible study, that should have gone to Luke, and let him do that. And praise and worship, that should have gone to Tori so that she could teach something like that. So it's interesting,
it's so hard to do that.
Yeah, leadership development is one of those deals that you grow. I think you grow into it. I mean, Katie, you're the best at it. You're great at it. But it's one of those things. It wasn't like, I was working with you when you were 21, and it wasn't like at 21 you went, I am an expert at developing leaders. But you gravitated towards that. You had some instinctual skills. We were talking before you got here about
people modeling. I feel like I really paid attention to the people that were modeling it to me. So I feel like that you grow into it, and you have tough conversations, and you go, okay, you know what, next time I could have done it this way. I got a Twitter from somebody today that said, I read your first 2 years in youth ministry, or I finished my first 2 years in youth ministry. Does that mean I've arrived? And I thought, oh man, you have just gotten started.
But that's probably a joke.
Of course.
Sure.
But the reality is
first swing
that some of the stuff that for our team who's listening, some of the things that you're going, I'm not good at this yet, or I haven't had the experience, and you're 26. you may be great at it at 36.
Yeah.
But it's just going to come in working with people, making mistakes.
Sure.
Why do you look at me when you say the word mistakes?
Well, and
It's too hard to look at
especially,
Too many
especially in
tears
the
will
area
cloud
of
his
leadership
eyes.
development.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's when, I mean, I still feel like I'm growing and learning and dealing with things for the first time and seeing new things.
Yeah.
16 years in, and I still feel like I'm learning in this area. So I think that area in particular, I'm not sure if you ever stop, growing in. So
Like I say, leaders and learners, you stop learning, you stop leading.
Matt's always said that.
Good.
You used to have a shirt on that, didn't you?
I do.
Yeah, but this one clearly
Looking for
replaced
some
it.
moose.
really, that was a better choice today.
That was a wise.
You just got to snort
a
on
little
that.
bit of.
A little bit of the story.
That was a good combo, but I'm kind of interested to see what.
Well,
that is.
Michael
What
Bright.
is that?
Michael Bright.
Oh, that's the one!
Huh? What's happening?
Here's the picture discussed in episode 186. Doesn't really give the best picture. This is the one where the
What?
youth pastors.
And you didn't even print it out with a color printer.
I don't have a color printer.
Oh, the picture on the wall.
Yeah, that the
The
youth
sacred
pastor.
cow.
The sacred cow painting.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see it.
This is where I had the inappropriate comment.
Oh,
Prophetic
wow. The earth is melting into hell.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hell in a handbasket.
that is
Yeah, you actually
That's
have
the
to
only
kind of
thing-
listen to episode 186 to get the context of it, but it kind of actually, if you hold it up that way, it almost kind of fits with the dump story that we.
Not really.
All right, Josh Robinson from Ocala, Florida.
It doesn't even look like the dumpster.
It doesn't matter. Look at him laughing like that.
Oh, it does.
It just
kinda
was
does.
funny.
Yeah,
it just
it
is
does.
funny.
You could just say dump
Put
story
your
and it's
silliness
automatically
in.
funny.
Yeah.
You
great.
you started this.
That is
just
the
so
thing
you know.
about, so every
I
once
did
in a while
not
Kathy
start it.
says to me, "Are you in 7th grade?" I love
Sometimes.
that. Yeah.
Totally.
Josh from Ocala, Florida says, I've listened to just about every episode. Keep them coming, man. I think you need to do the do mic check more often. Josh, your laugh is powerful, and I was homeschooled too.
All right. Thank you, Josh.
Fellow
Just
journeyman.
completely
Just for a
invalidate
year,
everything
or
you're
maybe
about to
3.
say.
Well, I said insert nerd joke here, so Matt did.
Oh, both
Katie,
ways.
you bring sanity and a lot of wisdom to the podcast.
Oh,
Thank you.
Way to go. Way to go.
We are
Really good stuff,
re-envisioning the student ministry. We're kicking off a new schedule in August. Sorry, we're a little later. We're working on the vision and values and are hoping to establish a fresh approach. I started my church in May of 2012. My goal is to wait at least 3 months before changing anything. My staff and volunteers are ready for change and are behind it. What is the best way to communicate and launch a new ministry schedule? Good question.
Great question.
That
That
is
is so super.
I mean, the first one is 3 months seems early for me. I mean, I would like to. Normally, I think you would stay a little bit longer. You're there for a little bit longer before you make some changes. And so, if everybody is ready for change, just in an email, not knowing you, the situation, it's really hard. My first response is, are they really ready for it, or do you want them to be ready for it? I mean, that's just the first initial question. Not saying you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, equally as important question is the motive behind the change. Because you don't want to change just for the sake of change. I'm the new guy.
Yeah,
Let me bring
put my
about.
fingerprint on there.
Yeah, let's find out the motive behind it and what is it for the best of the ministry, or am I just
Sure.
trying to get a little equity in my leadership account and I need to bring about some changes, or a couple people have complained, or whatever. I'm kind of thinking of first 2 years in youth ministry. I think I actually wrote a chapter on change.
Well, either you or I did.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think the timing.
Or Petey Wayne. You're supposed to wait for him to read.
What?
He wanted to.
I
He
did.
didn't want to hurt your
I
feelings.
wanted to.
I read that whole thing.
I'm sensitive.
Muscles moved in the left.
Why would it hurt my feelings? It doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
It's a good bit. It's such a good bit. It's worth a pound. But yeah,
He just.
as a friend,
It feels overused.
it is.
It feels like an overused bit.
It's a little too easy. Someone more.
192 episodes in,
Oh,
Matt's
my
still
goodness.
taking credit for my books.
I think all of my 60 you have. So that's good.
Every once an episode?
Probably.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Maybe twice.
Okay, let's bring it back to. Are we bringing it back to him, or do we have anything else?
Well, I just was gonna say sometimes it sounds like he's headed towards the fall, in this email, and so there are really great times in the year where change is a good. It's just a natural thing.
Right.
You've got students changing over, or the new season is beginning, and so I would just say, yes, even if you've only been there 3 months, but you're coming up on August, the end of August or September.
Right.
It could be a great time to introduce, some small changes, or hey, the new year is beginning. Here is something great we're going to introduce for this new year, and it almost could have nothing to do with you being there for a short period of time when it's a season change. So, I think, obviously being there for a while before you make any giant things, but you could probably change up some good things or start some new things just with it being calendar timing,
Yeah,
so
it's good.
Well, one of the things that we say, it's always easier to change yourself first.
Right.
You're excited about change. Great, change things about you and your leadership, and before you jump in and start messing with the ministry.
Yeah,
but there is another question, really. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I know we talk about being cautious with change and take things slow and be there a year before you make change, all that stuff. But sometimes when you walk into a ministry, some things are so glaringly obvious.
Yeah.
And they're easy calls, easy wins. Like, we don't know quite the significance of it. It sounds like a lot, to be honest. But there's some things that when you walk in off the street, the fresh eyes, you're like, that needs to change. It's not a big deal. Win, 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 and get our feet on the ground. So I would say not all change early is bad. I think there are some usually easy wins. Go for those. But be careful about changing everything all that way too much too fast.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to send you from, we need to get a new product from our Download Youth Ministry, or not a Download Youth Ministry, well, too. We got new products every day. Our Youth Ministry 360. We've been pumping this for a long time.
Same thing.
It's the new book.
It's still new?
First Steps for New Christ Followers, which is a great book. And anything you want from the Youth Ministry Garage, just enter in the code YM Garage. You get 10% off.
There you go.
There you go.
Done. That's how we roll.
All right. New.
That's how we roll.
Done.
All right. Here's another question, kind of similar. From Jonathan McMayer.
I snorted and you choked on your own.
Yeah.
Phlegm.
I just started as a youth pastor about 3 weeks ago. My question
is... Time
is...
for change.
What do you estimate is the typical honeymoon period? There's a lot I feel God calling me to do that involves a lot of changes. So in essence, how long do I have to make these changes before they risk letting me go? Any advice... to a new youth pastor would be helpful. Now, the reason I included this in, I thought it was a little bit different because we have a honeymoon phrase here.
Yeah.
Matt, you're the newest to a church.
I'm still in my honeymoon. Every day is bliss.
Yeah.
Just
so
wake up.
You've been there 18 months? 19 months?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, it was, they even said, some of the leadership of the church even said, your first 6 months, ask for everything you could, because this is the time you'll get whatever you ask for and stuff like that.
Did they whisper
I need to start over. This is great. What church is it?
Was I whispering right now?
I can't tell.
Yeah, I was whispering. So, I mean, there was a couple leaders who had actually said, hey, ask for whatever you need, just go for it, because you'll get whatever you want. This is an important ministry. And I mean, my response was, it's the first 6 months. Let me get in here and see how things are going. And I don't have a laundry list of, so that was just whatever. But yeah, the honeymoon does end. I mean, that's for sure. And the expectations do come, crashing down. And
is the honeymoon over for you?
I don't think so.
No,
it's pure bliss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, a couple episodes ago, I've got people on Twitter like, "Are you okay, Matt?" So
what do you guys think? Honeymoon phase?
8 months.
8 months?
8 months. I really do believe that. I think expectations change 6 to 8.
I would think that's realistic. Yeah.
I think it might not be over, but it is changing. It is headed that direction.
Yeah.
To where your boss, supervisor, or senior pastor, whatever, is looking at you, going, "Okay, you got your feet on the ground. We're all set. We should start to see some progress."
Yeah.
So I would say 8 is probably what I would guess. Yeah. Some more, maybe a little more in some contexts, maybe a little less in some higher expectation contexts, but that would be, in my mind, 8.
Okay.
What do you think?
I wouldn't be so quick as to put a number on it. To me, it's too contextual. I think if you're following a good youth ministry, I think your honeymoon period is small.
Yeah. That's good.
I think if you're entering into a season where it's been a long time, they waited for somebody, and I think you've got a little more grace there. I think the idea with the honeymoon is maybe the wrong approach to even consider it, to kind of consider in. I mean, I keep thinking of change, is that we're always looking into the idea of, I'm going to bring about change. Change is going to affect somebody. I want to, whether I'm a newbie or I've been there X number of years, when change happens, I want people to respond with grace.
Right.
So in order for that to happen, I need to invest in lives. I need to be making good decisions. I don't know. I mean, my line about I was at churches so long that I could raise money for, guns for Iraqi children, and parents would say, "How much do I write for?" Funny line I've used a million times.
Yeah.
But really, the longer you're there, the more grace you get. Yeah. So when you do zombie night,
right,
at
filled
church,
with grace,
people, some people hate the idea of it, but hey, Josh can do no wrong there. You got a lot of wins. So I don't know. The honeymoon is an interesting phrase in ministry. I think
especially connecting honeymoon with change. Because that's really what he's doing, is he's saying, hey, once the honeymoon is over and I make a lot of changes, they might want to can me. I mean, I'm not sure you want to make a lot of changes in your honeymoon. I mean, that's going to set the tone for, the rest of what's going on.
Yeah.
Don't you think, though, in the first, I'm going to stick with 8 just for argument's sake.
Say yes, because I
but don't you think that
with what you say.
People have expectations, and one of those expectations is results. So they suppress their expectations for the first few months of you adjusting to the context, observing, all that stuff. At a certain point,
those expectations get let loose.
They are out there. And they've hidden them during the job interview process. They've, disguised they don't care about numbers, all whatever. And all of a sudden, I'm going to say 8 months in, they're going to start to trickle out, and and then all of a sudden, there they are. And you're going, whoa, the honeymoon is over. I need to start delivering on these people's expectations. They didn't hire you to not come in and deliver.
Yeah.
So I hate to just be that blunt about it, but they're looking for results.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a point there. Just throwing it out there, going, they want to see some results and maybe some concentration while friends talk about youth ministry.
Yeah.
I got you.
I got all sorts of concentration.
You want to pull out your computer and answer email during the show?
Yeah, I mean, you're on your phone.
Well, when you schedule this right before we didn't do 2 shows.
Wow. Here we go.
Wow. Blame. The leader of Honeymoon is here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. You want a parent question? You want a double rewinder question?
Double rewinder.
Is that the same double rewinder from a few shows ago?
There's only one.
Yeah.
They're so rare.
There's only one that we know of.
Squirrel.
We ought to take him, don't you think?
I think so. I feel like that.
Maybe we should automatically take every one of their questions until they ask a dumb one.
People are going to start saying, double rewinder here.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
people don't lie.
Hey guys, it's your resident double rewinder, Mike Henry.
Perfect. Hey, Mike.
I'm finally writing in a question for the first time because I actually have one that you guys haven't addressed directly.
Awesome.
I've been listening long enough to know you like short, sweet, and pithy.
Yes.
I'm also
look at that email.
Extremely verbose, so I'm gonna please everyone by asking the shortened versions of the question, then laying out the background and more in-depth question in 2 sections.
What?
Mike,
I'm confused
you're already
now.
killing me.
Yeah, all right, next question.
Right.
We were
He's
wrong.
going to give a quick question and give some greater detail.
Well, that's what he said, but then he goes right into background information.
Oh, well, you didn't read that part yet.
No. Background information is probably not podcast worthy, but you can easily summarize.
If you prep the question.
I did. Look at all the underlines.
You got them.
Here we go. Do you know any resources out there specifically designed for student leadership training that comes from a different vantage point or cover a different aspect of leadership than Doug's book or John Maxwell's? Or do you think it would be more appropriate to adapt Andy Stanley's book and write curriculum myself? And a little bit in the context, he was talking about Andy Stanley's 7 checkpoints for student leader. What would you do? I know, long question. Feel free to paraphrase and make fun of my verbosity. Matt, I also challenge you to try to find any section of this question in which you can pick apart the meanings based upon semantics.
Verbosity.
Yeah. Verbosity.
So he's asking for student leadership material.
Yeah.
Yeah, different than what you do. Or the easy, quick answer
is leader tracks.
I mean, they are solid peoples. They do great stuff, and that's all they do is only focus Doug Franklin and their crew on student leadership stuff. You just did a student leadership conference, Griff. I'm not sure if you.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he sent his people here.
You have,
which is great.
You have a lot of different voices at that. It is not just Doug Field's voice at the conference. I think my personal take on developing leaders and student leadership, is that it should reflect you. Your training should reflect who you are as a leader and what you think is important. There's 7 checkpoints, 25 irrefutable laws, 99 thoughts. There is so much stuff that's out there on leadership, and that stuff's great, and it helps develop you as a leader, and wonderful, praise the Lord, that's great. But I think the best training, training someone to be a leader is really an extension of discipleship, and the best discipleship is an extension of what's happening in your own heart, your own life, your own passions. Yes, you use curriculum. Yes, you tap into other people's wisdom, of course. But at the core of it all, when you're discipling somebody, you are taking the most important things about your faith and passing those along, knowing that you're not the only input. The Holy Spirit is there. There are other things besides you growing that other person. I think leadership training is the same way. We just did yesterday. We added a couple people to our team, and so I brought, for the first time in like 6 months, brought junior high, high school, and college all together, and we spent about 2 hours just talking through things. Here's what I think are important for what it means to be a leader, and stuff that I've learned from you since I was a freshman in high school and learned from others, but it was all packaged in, this is Matt McGill's view of the universe, and as funny as that is to joke about and stuff, which it is, that was an authentic way to let everybody know, hey, here's how we move forward and stuff.
Now, is that in book form?
Mine?
Yeah.
No, because that was a long answer. I know I got excited about that. And if you guys would have checked out, I would have been, okay, should have been checking emails at that answer. So,
thank you for getting it, Josh.
Was that in book form?
That's good.
Because it was long?
No, there's a complicated joke that he was laying out for.
Because the guy asked for a book.
No, it's about really. You writing all my books.
Yeah,
that was it.
It was. Yeah. You mean writing jokes?
Shoot. I'm sorry. I don't want to laugh, Doug. I'm sorry. I'm betraying you. Don't do it. Don't get that back. Put that down.
It was too easy.
Just pound it.
Easy.
Pound it.
That's I need the easy ones.
But Katie just shakes her head in the back.
It's so funny.
Because the double rewinder, Mike Henry says Katie's the best female that's ever been on the show.
Agreed.
She is.
She is.
Well, let me just add to the student leadership deal. Obviously, Help I'm a Student Leader, Maxwell, Andy Stanley, all that stuff. People use it as a foundation for developing stuff, and so.
I took a long time. I'm sorry.
No, I think what you said is it comes out of who you are, but sometimes what comes out of who you are is you need somebody like one of those resources to get you thinking. Just all of a sudden, you pull out something from Leader Treks and Doug Franklin, and you're going to teach this section from, this book on student leaders, start here, and all of a sudden you spin off and go, you know what, there's too much in this, I'm going to turn this into 3 weeks instead of 1.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to send him. Leader Treks is giving 2 products away this week, and this is the Student Leader Start Here.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a little different than Maxwell and you.
Yeah.
What he wanted.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't send too many questions in that say, "Hey, I'm not really curious about your opinion. You got something else?" Just saying.
He's a double rewinder.
It's
almost
maybe
like
he's read it all and he's looking.
It's
for
like
the
I
next
can do no
suggestion.
wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you could have said that.
Yeah. Okay, last question. Let's do this. We were actually just kind of talking about this before the show. This is from Allison Williams, Seymour, Indiana. On morethandodgeball.com, cha-ching, the other day, Josh was talking about how to plan your youth ministry calendar. I usually plan mine out 6 months ahead of time and make slight adjustments as needed. I have friends that plan further out in advance or less. How do each of you plan out your teaching or events calendar? Do you rotate schedules back around every 4 or 5 years or start fresh with each group of students? Just trying to reevaluate how I do things since fall is such a clean slate time of the year.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
Oh,
Katie, start. You were just talking about your teaching calendar.
I was just talking about how I wish that I was a little bit more ahead of the game than I am right now. We do plan 6 months out event wise and just calendaring things that we do about 6 months, 5 or 6 months out, which I feel really good about because I feel like 5 months is a blink and usually it's a good time frame. Teaching calendar wise, I have for junior high, I have like a 2-year skeleton plan that I created a couple of years ago that I kind of work off of, but it's more just like big picture teaching and what I want my junior hires to leave their 2 years having, gotten from us. So that there's kind of this overarching thing, but it's not quite as detailed as I like it to be.
Yeah,
so I'm probably about 3 months, 3 or 4 months out from each season of locking those things down specifically. So I don't know. Yeah, I think 6 months is a good time frame. A lot changes.
Yeah, and if you're not doing 6 months, don't feel guilty.
No. I mean, even 2 months. I would just say the biggest thing is parent communication.
Yeah.
Making
planning.
sure, planning and just making sure your parents are aware, because there's times where internally you're thinking about something for 6 months, but then you don't actually tell anybody about it or.
As a parent of a teenager, here's what I want. All I care about are dates that you want my kid away from my family right now. So I want to know, because let's say I'm in the corporate world and we're going to do a summer vacation, and I've got to put in time requests. I want to know that time off, and then all of a sudden we're going to go visit Yosemite, and we schedule that vacation, and then Josh comes out with a trip for the high school ministry during that time that he just let me know 2 or 3 months in advance. I'm now mad at Josh. I'm mad at the ministry, and because I'm going.
We haven't supported you.
Now my kid wants to go on your high school trip rather than.
And not on the one vacation you get.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I'd say to really help families win, give them the dates, the significant dates, as far out in advance as you can. They don't even have to have the cost yet.
Yeah.
Just have the dates, summer, this sort of mission trip, so people can plan around that. I think in terms of all the other events, a couple months in advance, if you can pull that off, like if I know at the beginning of the summer or sometime during the summer, here's here in Southern California, our fall is basically September through December.
Yeah.
I realize people are listening, they're in school right now. We don't start school till a week after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I know in the summer what my fall's going to be like, great. If I can kind of lock in, even with pencil, fall, then early fall, bang out January through May or June, and then early January, nail my summer down.
Great. Yes. That would exactly be that answer. As soon as this season starts, plan the next, and I just do 3 seasons.
Yeah. And not really caring exactly what it's going to be, as long as I get dates to parents.
Yeah.
And volunteers. Also, if I want volunteers to be away from.
And sometimes you're at the mercy of the adult services as well, or a big change there, or maybe they announce, hey, we're going to do a campaign, and that affects your teaching calendar that you had so dialed in, or there's so many variables that are handed to youth workers, ourselves included, that I think
hold some stuff loosely.
I think I'll hold it all loosely. Do your best to plan it, try to pen some things in, but at the end of the day, things are going to have to shift.
Yeah.
So, cool.
And easy communication. Did I send you your deal back and say this looks great?
Yeah, he did that on 2 of them.
What deal? What is it?
Matt's doing a thing. It's like a HSM weekly. Is it a weekly or?
No, it's just called Inside HSM, so I'm not tied to a.
Oh yeah.
But
it's really good. It's nothing fancy. It's not like the most unbelievable layout. It's like a photo of a volunteer but some dates and some kind of click throughs and things like that.
That's cool.
Helpful stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when it comes to the calendar, like I hate the calendar. I mean, I hate planning stuff. I hate, and I'm not good at it. I mean, that's one of the things that I loved at Saddleback. I mean, in those early years, we were playing around with the pieces, and then. And you're really good at the calendar. I mean, really good at visualizing what does this look like and how many weeks between there and this and stuff like that. And so, I mean, we had our schedule. I mean, we made changes, and sometimes we made big gambles, but we knew what worked all year round when we did this event or did that and summer camp. And we might move summer camp to the beginning of summer or middle or whatever. I mean, we had some things that we would play with, but we knew what we were doing. But, for me in our ministry, I mean, I still haven't got it figured out. And it's a combination of new ministry, new context, but also I'm not the greatest at this. And so we had, we got done with summer camp a year ago, so at the end of our summer, and kids were so fired up and excited. It was great for our ministry, and just like summer camp always is. So we put some we asked some questions, put some feelers out, and say, hey, what about a ski trip? You want to let's just do a fun ski trip. I mean, I'm like, let's put this in lightning in a bottle and sell it. And so everyone was up for it and thought it was a great idea. And so we did it like literally the 3rd week of January. And it's a ski trip, so it costs more money than regular trips and stuff like that. It was horrible. I mean, we talked about it, promoted it. We did a really cheap discipleship event at the end of October, and so doing one thing at the end of October and then trying to get people to sign up for something that was the 2nd or 3rd week in January was and we ate a ton of money. I mean, we ate a ton of money. Not that many kids that came. Those that did, it was a really good trip, it was some good, and there was actually 2 kids that were unconnected that are still connected. Good things happened, but it was just too much together, and it was too much right after the New Year. I mean, people weren't thinking about the New Year, and so, I don't know. So all that's to say is that, like, I feel like this is a tough thing for us, me, in our ministry, trying to plan where do things go and what are we going to do and what does that look like. So
now, do you have that in a book?
Yes, could you help me write that book?
You're
going with that.
Good stuff. There it was, just a little.
I just need the feeder line.
I get it. You guys, it's always great to be with you.
Yeah.
You're wonderful.
Oh,
it's the fact that we get to do this and people listen and sponsors help out.
Crazy.
This garage is so nice.
So luxurious.
I was looking at the mountain bike, Katie. I have a very nice mountain bike over there, and I'm not a real good mountain biker, but sometimes I think it'd be really cool if Josh and Matt
rode it.
We're into mountain biking because it's just kind of fun.
Do more things together.
Yeah, it's just kind of fun. Get on the bike.
I often wonder when you guys are going to start playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
that'd be real fun to do together too.
Yeah, would it be fun? Would it be? Let's be honest. Would it be fun to play World of Warcraft with me?
Maybe. You know what's funny? Your addictive personality and the going to the next step. I gotta get that sword. I don't know. I could love it.
The little competitive video game feels coming out.
See, here's my problem. Every time I do a video game, I get killed right away. I'm like shot up.
Yeah.
I mean, then it's smart, and so they started off so you have some wins.
Yeah.
Wins early.
There you go.
All right. So, what would your thing be if we were going to do stuff together other than sit at Denny's and eat and laugh which, don't get me wrong, love it.
Yeah. I would say Hawaii, maybe.
Yeah.
Hawaii would be good. A jacuzzi somewhere. The trip. Yeah, I'm in. I'm in on that.
I think reading all of our Kindles side by side would be a wonderful.
That would be.
We need more sponsors, Katie.
Yeah. Wait, you have a Kindle?
That's awesome. Yeah. Maybe we should all run homeward together. That would be fun. There you go.
There's positions for you.
We could do that.
Let me know when you're ready.
We could do that.
All right. Based on your calendar planning. Maybe coming up soon. You guys are the best. Episode 192. We're out. Love you. Bye.
We're not out until you ask me if we can go out.
Can we go out?
No.